皆さん、英語のソータです。
And I'm Riley.
Uh, I have to apologize, everyone. Last time, my mic wasn't working, so the sound was not really good. And also, at the end, Right-chan was saying, "Oh, yeah, I like my shoes." Then the
I
conversation
like my
stopped.
shoes.
Yeah. So I need to say sorry, everyone. But you love shoes, right?
Sure. Yeah, I'm not like a big sneakerhead, but I like shoes.
うんうんうん。Yes. はい、皆さん、ちょっと先週のエピソードすみません。僕のマイクがですね、今、パソコンを新しく変えたんですけど、その関係もあって、マイクがちゃんと反応してなくて、直に自分の Mac に収納されてる、なんか、内蔵されてるマイクに取っちゃってて、音が悪かったと思います。すいません。あとは番組の終わり、ライリーは靴好きなんだよねみたいな、好きで、みたいなところで終わっちゃってて、すいません。今回はちゃんといけたらなと思います。僕のね、ラップトップに今、ズームのアプリが入ってなくて、1回分の40分しか取れないっていう感じもあって、はい、ちょっとそういう問題が今後あるかもしれませんが、で、最初の冒頭をね、今日はこんな感じで、ちょっと頑張りましょうみたいな、元気ですかみたいな、最初会話してからするので、40分フルで使えない時もあるので、ちょっとそこはご理解いただけたらなと思います。So, Riley, are you ready?
Yep.
そうだと。
Riley no 台本なし英会話 lesson episode I don't know
315.
315.
Yeah. Yes. All right, what is the topic for episode 315, Riley?
It's quitting jobs.
はい、今回のお題は仕事を辞めることなんですけど、より細かくいくならば、退職代行サービスを使うことをどう思うかです。Yeah, recently I find a lot of tweets or articles about 退職代行. And for people who are listening to our episode from other countries, in Japan, it's becoming a little common that people ask somebody else to call or say this person will quit for him or her. Because sometimes in Japan, people cannot easily quit their jobs. So yeah, it's becoming common, and that is called 退職代行. 退職 means leaving their office or yeah, leaving their job. Then 代行 means doing something for somebody else. Right, by the way, do you know this word? 退職代行.
Yeah, I've never heard the words together, but I
Mhm.
know both of those parts
That's
separately.
cool.
Yeah,
That's
I know
cool.
Daiko as like the car that helps you drive home if you've
うんうんうんうん。
been drinking, right?
Yeah, that's true. Then, yeah, what do you think about this? This is the discussion topic for this episode. So, Riley, you heard this phrase for the first time. Then, what was your first impression like?
Yeah, I mean, my first impression is kind of like in Japan, when you quit your job, like when you announce that you're going to quit, you still go to work for like a month or something like that.
うん、うん、う
So
ん。
that's what's weird to me is that you would have like somebody else call your boss or whatever to say this person is quitting, but then you would come to work on the next day or whatever.
In this case, they don't need to do it. If somebody, oh, you mean, not with the Taishoku Daiko service.
No, no, I mean with the
Mhm.
Taishoku
In
Daiko
general.
service, like because
Mhm.
you're most places in Japan, right? You can't really quit your job and then that's it. You don't go to work anymore. You usually tell somebody that you're quitting, like, I don't know, at least 2 weeks before you quit, like a month, maybe two
Mhm.
months, sometimes, yeah, a long time before you quit.
Mm. Yeah, in general, people have to do it. Then, yeah, as you said, they have to keep going to work. But with this Taishik Daiko service, people don't need to work anymore. That's why I think it's becoming popular. One of the reasons.
Oh, really? So you can quit and then like let's say you quit on Friday or you have this person 退職代行
うん。
service call and quit for you on Friday and then on Monday you just don't go to work?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
So maybe, yeah, as you pointed out, people have to go to work, even if they feel they want to quit, or even if they have actually said, I want to quit, or they want to quit. So they don't really like it, and they find someone else to quit their jobs for themselves. I mean, for them,
Hmm.
then yeah, they don't need to go to work. That's why it's maybe popular now.
Yeah, I mean so
Mhm.
so people do this for part-time jobs and full-time jobs?
Mostly maybe full-time jobs.
Really?
うんうんうん。Yes。ちょっとまず訳したいんですけど、そう、なので、今ここで感じるのは、日本の仕事の辞め方っていうところが多分浮き彫りになってると思うんですけど、日本では仕事辞めたいってなった時に、two months of, sorry, 2 months ahead, あるいはtwo weeks ahead. Did you use the word ahead? って言ったっけ？
I don't remember.
before? そうやね、どっちやったっけ？うん、まあ、そうそう。何日前とかって言いたいとき、皆さん、なんとか before、あるいはなんとか ahead を使ってもらって、まあ、before 使うと結構その後ろに文章も入れられるので結構便利ですね。I need to tell about that 2 months before I actually do it みたいな、例えばですけど、こういうふうに文章を置けます。あるいは、まあ、2 months ahead の形で2ヶ月前っていう形でも表せますね。そう、ごめんなさい。ちょっと今日、まだ朝なので、めっちゃ口が動いてなくて噛んじゃう時あったらすいません。で、そう、日本のやっぱ仕事を辞めるっていう風潮って何ヶ月前からやらないといけない。で、それを言った後も行かなきゃいけないっていう、そういう感じだもんね。なので、まあ、退職代行サービス使ってもそれで行かないといけないんでしょっていうところから今会話が始まってました。もうちょっと深掘りはしていきたいんですけど、なので外国人からのイメージとしては、日本ではそうやって辞めたいのにまだ辞めれないっていう感じがなんかあるんでしょうね。あとは、それがあるがゆえに多分ね、退職代行サービスって今なんか巷ですごいこう話題になってるというかみんなが使おうとするんじゃないかなと。もうすんなり辞めさせてくれない。あと辞めるって言った時の対応がちょっともう怖いとか気まずいとかね。なんかそういうのもあるんじゃないかなと思いますが。So, you mentioned in Japan, people have to keep going to work even if, uh, even after they have said, I'll quit.
Yeah.
So for you, it's kind of weird in Japan.
Um, I mean, to be honest, no, it's not that weird.
Oh,
Like
mm-hmm.
in the
Okay.
US, it's typically called 2 weeks notice. It's common for
Mm,
you to say you're going to quit 2 weeks before you stop working.
mm, mm, mm.
The
Oh, okay. Mm,
the thing that's a little weird in Japan is it's very common for people to do it much longer in advance
mm, mm.
than 2 weeks. Like people will say, I'm going to quit like I don't know, 3 weeks in or not 3 weeks is fine. Like 3 months in advance or
Yeah.
something. Like
Mm, that's true. そこ先にごめんなさい。補足させてください、皆さん。アメリカでも前もって仕事を辞めるっていうのは全然普通ではあると。ただ、その期間が長いっていうところに驚きを感じるっていうことですね。So, in advance これも使えますね。前もってっていう。So, thank you in advance とか僕はよく使うんですけど、前もってお礼を言っときますみたいな、ああいう時にも使えますが、in advance。で、前もってですね。で、2 week notice って言ってましたが、この場合は、形容詞みたいに名詞の前につけるときは複数形にならないことが多いので、2 week notice になってますが、2週間前の、まあ、通知、告知みたいな感じですかね。お知らせって感じかな。うん。アメリカでは2週間ぐらい前で全然いいみたいですね。でもそれに対して日本が3ヶ月前っていうのが、ちょっとなんかね、暗黙のルール的なのはありますから、それがやっぱ長いなって感じると。Then in America, people, how do people quit their jobs? It's a weird question, but
um
what do they say?
um yeah, I don't know exactly. They probably talk to their boss and they say
Mm,
something like, I'm gonna stop working here from this date or whatever. Um,
Uh-huh.
yeah, I mean,
And you,
there's, sorry,
sorry, sorry.
there's like a stereotype, or it's in like commercials or movies or something, of like somebody getting upset about work, or they've had enough. There's been too many troublesome things happening at work, and then they say like, "I quit," and then they just like storm out of the office. They like run out, or
Mm,
not run,
mm,
but you know what I mean. Angrily
mm.
walk out of the
Yeah.
office. Um, I don't think that happens very much, but it's in movies and stuff a lot.
Yeah, like last week's episode. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
sometimes we get influenced by lots of movies or movie scenes. Storm out ってね、
Yeah.
嵐のように去るって感じですけど、どうやって次辞めるのかなと思って今聞いてたんですけど、ちゃんとね、冷静にボスに話して辞めますって言うよと。そう、でも映画とかだったらね、結構固定概念としてこういうイメージ植え付けられてるかもっていうのが、もうやめますみたいな、ブチ切れて、そう、嵐のように去って出てくみたいな、ああいうのは基本はないと思うよっていうお話でしたね。そう、だから退職代行サービスのところにお話を持っていくためにもちょっと知りたいなと思うのが、Yeah, to discuss this 退職代行 service in Japan, maybe people cannot easily quit their jobs, and then maybe they feel awkward when they have to talk to their boss saying, "Oh, I'll quit." For example, the reaction would be, "Why?" or like you shouldn't do it, like you should keep working, or oh that's your fault, or that's your mistake, or something like that. Sometimes people might get upset, I mean the boss might get upset. So my next question for you is, in America, when people say I want to quit my job, then what would be the reaction from the boss?
Hmm. Um,
Sorry, what would
yeah,
be the reaction like?
well, yeah, I think it depends on the situation, of course. Like, yeah, if you're quitting over, like, if you're quitting out of anger, if you're storming out or whatever, then I guess the boss may also be angry. Um, but I think because in America people change jobs kind of a lot, it's usually not such a big deal if somebody quits. So, if you talk to your boss and you say, "Oh, I found a new job. I'm gonna quit this job in 2 weeks," or something like that. Um, I think that's usually pretty fine. Yeah.
Okay, then usually boss, in general, in any positions, boss in any positions, in this case, bosses, yeah, bosses in any
Bosses, yeah.
positions, yeah, don't get upset.
I think no. I mean, I'm sure there are situations where the boss does get upset, but
Mm-hmm.
I think not really, I would say.
Okay. Yeah, maybe that could be one of the problems in Japan. People maybe feel scared of saying, people feel scared to say, I want to quit. Then yeah, that's why this service is becoming common. But what do you think? Do you agree with this service? Like people don't say that by themselves. Asking somebody to do it, which means they don't have any chance to say thank you or not sorry, but yeah, they can't have any chance to communicate with their colleagues or anybody. Um, do you agree with this service or not?
Yeah, I mean, I think in in Japan, when it is difficult to quit a job, I agree with quitting jobs. I think people, if they don't
Mm,
like their job, they should quit their job
mm,
and find a better one. Um, but I do think there is kind of I don't know if it's a problem exactly, but I think in Japan, a lot of people have trouble what can I say? Uh, saying things that may cause conflict.
Like
Confronting people.
confronting. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people in Japan are kind of afraid of conflict, right? And I think that that can be harmful to the person that is afraid of it, if that makes sense. Right? It can make a lot of things in life difficult if they don't want to do something that, like quit their
Yeah,
job or talk to their boss about a problem or something like that.
that's true.
So
In
I
the
get
future.
Yeah, so I guess this kind of it solves the problem in the short term, right? Okay, for this job, they can quit now. But it may mean that in the future, other kind of other things that they should confront somebody about, they're not able to. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Mm.
uh,
Mm.
yeah, like if, for example, if you're afraid of something, like you're afraid of, I don't know, you're afraid of heights, so you don't want to go up in the tall building, or you don't want to go up, uh, whatever, you don't want to climb a mountain or something. I don't know. Um, y if you don't try to kind of face your fears, then it's going to kind of limit what you can do forever, right?
Mm. Mm. That's true. And also, yeah, in any situations, if people cannot say how they're feeling, maybe, they try to hold them and then they can let them out. Then in the end, they end up quitting or keeping quitting. So, yeah, as you said, it could be also one of the ways for them to confront and say how they feel, honestly. Yeah, but in Japan, like, the younger the generation is, the more this kind of problem could happen in Japan. For example, in general, people say, uh, nowadays younger people don't try to keep working, or yeah, sometimes of course they can quit, but too short, and before they actually know what kind of job this is, they kind of quit, and then in a case of quitting, they can't say it by themselves. So like this, yeah, as I said, the younger the generation is, the more, um yeah, sensitive problems could happen like this in Japan. But how about in the States? People's younger, especially younger people's minds or mindset are changing.
Yeah, I think probably. Um,
Oh. Hmm.
I don't, obviously, I don't live in the States anymore, so I don't have like a super clear idea of this, but from, TV or media, I've seen a lot of people complaining that like younger people don't really have social skills,
Mm.
like as much as older people do,
Mm.
or older people rather, imagine they do. Um,
Mm.
and a lot of people are blaming that on COVID because, in the US, kids or whatever, didn't go to school for like
Mm.
2 years.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
So I think, for a lot of people, I guess people who are starting working now, that was, yeah, their college years, right?
Mm.
2021 or something, 2020, 2021. They were in college or maybe the end of high school when COVID was happening, and now they're going into work and they don't have kind of, yeah, I don't know, what would probably be pretty important years of their life socially,
Mm.
your last year of high school or your first year of college or whatever are pretty big
Mm.
years for social interaction, I think growing up socially.
Mm. Mm. なるほどね。Does it say how many minutes left? Not yet.
Nope.
Okay, then when it comes up, can you tell me?
Sure.
Yes. そう、ズームね、40分だったら、あと10分、あと5分ですみたいなのは出るんですよ。で、僕のパソコンにはまあそれ出なくて、ラリーに、出たら教えてって言ってるのでちょっと皆さんそこの はい。声かけがあるかもしれませんが。そう、なんか難しいけれども、なんかね、話し合いたいなって思ってたお話なんですけど、まず退職代行サービス、賛成か反対かっていうところでは、ね、仕事を辞めるっていう点では、やっぱりね、アメリカではどんどん仕事を変えていくので、さっきも出てましたけど、上司がそんなね、辞めることが普通なので、もうめちゃくちゃ露骨に嫌っていうほど、そういうことはあんまないかなっていう。なので、そういう意味では、辞めるっていうことは賛成なので、ね、どんどんやめていっていいと思うんだけれども、でもっていう僕が言う前にね、ライリーが言ってましたけれども、そう結構ここが、僕はね、半分、やめるときは自分で言うっていうのも大事なんじゃないかなとも思いつつ、それを後で言おうと思ってたんですけど、まずアメリカ人的思考として、それを聞いたときにどう反応するんだろうって聞きたかったので、何も言ってなかったんですけど、そう、ね、結構、いいじゃんってなるのかなと思ったら、そう、confront って出てましたけれども、それは僕が言った言葉かな、最初 confronting で、ライリーが言ってたのは conflicts。同じ con ですけれども、そう、confront は向き合う。conflict は対立。で、最近のっていうか人によってね、こう退職代行サービス使っちゃって、こう対立を避けるっていうのは、やっぱりちょっと日本人あるあるでもあるよねと。なんか対立を避けて自分の気持ちをちゃんとはっきり言わない、あるいは言えないっていう。それは長い目で見たときに、この仕事は辞めれてもいいかもしれないけど、どっか違うとこ行ったときにまた同じような問題が起きてっていう、なんか自分の人生が苦しくなっていくんじゃないかなっていうライリーの視点があって、それは僕もすごく賛成というかわかるなと思うんですよね。で、なんかね、ジェネレーションが若くなればなるほど、僕の時でもゆとり世代って言われて、もう温室育ちですぐ辞めるみたいな世代でとかって言われてたんですけど、もう一個ちょっと僕の弟の世代でも、またそこがよりちょっと繊細になって、で、それのもう一個下の世代。そこがちょうど僕のね、今、親戚いとこがね、こう20歳ぐらいなんですけど、20歳の子自身が自分で、俺らの代が、大人になって社会人になったらどんな風になんねやろうって、もうみんな仕事なんかしたくないとかって言って、もう TikTok とかあんな影響を受けて、どんどん変になってくんちゃうかなって思うねんって、本人も言ってたぐらい、そういう風に今社会を見てるのかっていう。でも、僕としては、でもその分多様性もできて、自由なクリエイティブな思考は生まれるんじゃないとは言ってたんですけど、なんかここが一長一短だなーって、思ったりもしてたんですけど、そういうのアメリカでもあるのって聞いてたら、やっぱりアメリカでもあると。どんどん若い世代によってね、ちょっと耐えれないっていう人が増えてきてるというか、もう仕事のね、こう愚痴も多くなってきてるっていう。で、その原因は一個コロナのね、影響で学校に行けてなかった、その結果、social skills。これもいい単語かもですね。社会のスキル、社会的なスキルっていうのが欠けてしまってるかもしれないよねっていうね、話も今出てましたね。Um, yeah, there are some things I wanted to share, listening to your opinions. One is that in Japan, yeah, I really agree with your opinion too. Like
Okay.
people should confront,
Yeah, yeah.
but at the same time in Japan, oh yeah, on social media I found a video where the boss is so furious and then yelling at the Taishuk Daiko service people, saying, "Oh, this person wants to quit your company." Then
Mm.
he is really mad, and then saying bad words or something. Then when I saw that, oh, there is such a company. That's why this person or there are people who can't say I want to quit or yeah, who want to use this service. So in Japan, their response is kind of bad. I mean, the boss or the company.
Yeah, I
Mm.
have some experience with that
Oh,
actually. I
really?
mean, yeah,
Mm.
when I quit my previous job,
Mm.
I gave 1 month notice, right? So I was
Mm.
like, I think it was early or maybe late September, early October when I said I was going to quit, and then I stopped working in the end of October, right?
Mm.
And I basically said, I found a different job, I'm going to quit, blah, blah, blah. And he was really mad at me. He was not quite yelling,
Mm.
but he was saying stuff like it was a small company, so he was saying things like, "This is going to be a disaster for the company. This is going to be a catastrophe. How could you do this? Why would you do this?" And it's like, I was just, I just found a better job. Like, I
う
found a
ん、
job that, whatever.
う
Um,
ん、
and then after that, so again, I worked for 1 month after saying I'm going to quit.
う
And
ん、
I used to have lessons where I would teach with my boss. So we would be in the same room and
う
teaching like
ん、
a big group of students. And he didn't talk to me at all
う
for the
ん、
whole month.
awkward. 気まずい、それ。
Yeah, it was
う
it
ん、
was really, really weird.
うん。But in that case, was that person Japanese?
No, actually, no.
Uh,
Canadian.
so in Japan, maybe he got influenced or affected by the Japanese environment.
I would say yes. I think so.
ああ、そうやんな。そう、そのお話はちょっとライリーからもね、ちょっと過去に聞いたことはあったので、今知ってたお話ではあったんですけど、やっぱ、うん、日本にいる外国人のお話ではあるらしいんですけど、やっぱ日本の風土に影響されて、そう、ライリーが辞めるって言ったらもうすごいカタストロフィー、もう大惨事だ、ディザスター、ひどすぎるみたいな感じで、そう怒って、最後の仕事の時は口も聞いてくれなくて、で、確か、You said bye, but he didn't respond to it, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah. I used
う
to like
ん、
we would have the same we would be in the same room, So
うん。
I would at the end of the class or whatever, I would say goodbye, and he would just like pretend he didn't hear me or something like that.
ああ、そう、それ怖いなと思ってバイバイって言って無視されたっていう。そう。Yeah, I'm also, doing this kind of job and then, oh, I got a message. 10 minutes warning. Okay, thank you. ライリー
Mhm.
がそうメッセージを送ってくれました。Yeah, I also have, this kind of job. And then I always try to keep in mind that when someone says, I want to quit or yeah, when anything, yeah, any things happen, I try to say, thank you. Then even if I feel something or I need to say something, yeah, nicely we can say that, but you never ignore or say, I just want to support and respect the person's decision. So yeah, just ignoring and not saying bye um are kind of weird to me. And then yeah, in Japan that happens a lot maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I would say yeah,
うん。
it's weird. I mean, it's also another version of not having social skills, right? Like
うん。
you have to be able to, I don't know, if something upsets you, you have to be able to deal with it in a, I don't know, professional or human way. Like
うん。
obviously I found that very childish.
う
I'm mad
ん。
at you, so I'm not going to talk to you for 1 month. Like it's like a baby.
ねえ。うん。そうですよね。そう、だから今これを聞いてくださってる方でね、どのポジションにいらっしゃる方、それは社長とかじゃなくても上のポジションとかね、人事部の方とかもいらっしゃると思うんですけど、僕は一個なんか心がけてるのは、そう、最後やっぱいい印象でお互いね、終われた方が気持ちいいし、なんだろうな、その人にこの会社を恨まれたりとかしたまま終わるのって、長い目で見ても多分デメリットの方が大きい気がするんですよね。ただ、言わないといけないことは言わないといけないと思うんですよ。なので、さすがにやっぱそんなに急だとちょっと困るのは困るんだけどとか、やっぱちょっとそう、ここのこれはこんだけねやってもらってた中でこれはちょっととか、それは全然言っていいと思うんですけど、やっぱ言い方と、あとはでも最後は、でもいろいろ助けていただいて本当に助かりましたとか、ありがとうございましたとか、誰々さんがいらっしゃらなかったらこの業務はできなかったのでとか、あのそう、あんまり僕もその辞めるみたいな経験、スタッフがっていうのは、めちゃくちゃ多いわけではないんですけど、やっぱり入れ替わる時っていうのは、最後は絶対感謝の気持ちは持つようには心がけてるかなと。ただ、働く側の人も、上司の人がそう思えるような、ね、パフォーマンスだったり、最後の終わり方っていうところももちろん大事だとは思うんですけど、この人が辞めるんやったらもう温かく見送ってあげようって思ってもらえるような働き方をこれまでするっていうのももちろん大事だとは思うんですけどね。なんか、そう、辞めにくい雰囲気っていうのはちょっとね、一番こう作りたくないですよね。Yeah, I try to be careful But at the same time, yeah, I said that in Japanese, people who want to quit, people in this position too, like they in another way they might have to make their boss to think, oh, I want to support or respect this person's decision. Then what kind of how could they say I'll quit, or what kind of performance could they have done, or yeah, in both situations, I mean, in both positions, yeah, people think like that, I thought. But yeah, anyways, in Japan, that happens a lot, especially bosses too bossy. That's why they're called boss, perhaps. But yeah, that's not really good. And then another thing I wanted to say was that social media could affect people's decisions like this. People want to quit their job without saying directly. Like sometimes YouTubers or people say, oh, live as you want. And if you don't like your job, you can just quit, or you don't need to give them a notice or something. Yeah, especially in Japan. So I thought when I was talking about the reasons, that could be one of the reasons in Japan. What do you think? In the States, those YouTubers or social media affect people's mind?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, of
Oh.
course, but yeah, I'm not sure. I said I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that in Japan,
Mm,
uh, you are supposed to give 2 weeks notice before you quit. Like I
mm,
think it's the law, I think.
mm, mm.
So yeah, I don't know if people are listening to this, you might want to check. You could get in some trouble, I think, if you quit your job and just leave that same day.
うんうんうん。
It's yeah, it's something you might want to be a little bit careful about.
うんうん。なるほどね。how many minutes left?
I'm setting it for.
4。じゃあ、終わらな。今日のエピソードは
いかがでしたでしょうか？
いかがでしたでしょうか？そう、僕、ズームの今ないから作られへんのよ。もう一個お部屋って感じなので、皆さんすいません。そう、なので、今ね、これを聞いていただいて、なるべくいろんな角度からのディスカッションにするようにはしましたので、皆さんにも考えていただきたいなと思うんですけど、そう、なんかまとめると、やっぱり日本のこの辞めにくい雰囲気っていうのは、ダメですよね。で、SNS で見てても、退職代行サービスの人がその会社に電話をしてるっていう切り抜きみたいなのがあって、ほんで、お宅の会社の誰々さんが辞めたがってますみたいな言ったら、どこのやつや、お前みたいな。そいつとにかく呼んでくれみたいな、もう、お下品だなと思いながら、あんたみたいなのがおるから、この子はそうやって辞めたいって直接言われへんねんやんけって僕は思うくらい、なんかね、品のない会社ってあるじゃないですか。だから僕は最初退職代行サービスが始まった時は、そんなんも自分で言われへん時代になっちゃったのかっていう、さっきのライリーのお話と一緒で、そういうのは言わなあかんのちゃう自分でとも思ってたんですけど、やっぱ SNS でそういうのを見ると、いやこういう人がおるから、そりゃこういう辞めたいって言いにくい子も出てくるんよなっていうのも思ったんですよね。なので、それが両視点っていう。プラスそれがどこから来てるのかっていうのは、日本のその風土もそうですし、SNS のなんかもう、やめたらええねみたいな、もう自由に行こうぜみたいな、こう、耐えれないなんか雰囲気を作ってる風潮もなんかあったりするんじゃないかなっていうのもあって、ね、自分でちゃんとどの情報を取って誰を尊敬して誰のように生きていきたいのかっていうのは、取捨選択するのは大事なのかなっていうのは今、ね、話してて思いましたかね。ちょっとあと何分かわからんから話さな。僕は英語のソータで調べていただくと YouTube とか Twitter とか SNS いろいろ出てきます。ライリーはライリーサラバイクスで調べていただくと。
Pretty
そう、
impressive. That was very
出てきま
fast.
す。ほんまそうそう、ライリー
Yeah.
はライリーサラバイクスで調べていただくといろいろ出てきますので、はい、皆さんまたぜひ次回のエピソードもご視聴いただけたらなと思います。ではまた次回のエピソードでお会いしましょう。バイ。
Bye.
何分 ?How many minutes
We
left?
got 2 minutes left.
あと2分。Okay, then can you add something, Riley?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to say, like, I think quitting your job can feel good. I think people, if they don't like their job, they should quit. But obviously, you should have something to do next. Hopefully, another job, or you know that you have enough money saved up. Like, I mean, I think pretty much everyone will do that, right? People are not stupid. They're not going to quit their job and then have no money, I hope. But at the same time, yeah, be a little bit careful because I think companies can actually get you in some trouble if you don't follow like the law when you quit. So it's something I know some people who almost got in trouble for that. So yeah, just be careful if you're quitting your job. I hope everybody can have the confidence to quit their job if they want to. But you know, maybe look up the rules first. But that's it for me. We gotta end. So thanks guys. See you next time. Bye bye.
Bye.